We're looking at Great Flinders Netball now on the Friday Night Sports Show, and Elizabeth Burns is with me on the line to preview a massive grand final this weekend. How are you, Elizabeth?
Oh, I'm really, really good. I'm really excited for tomorrow and, really can't wait for some of these matches to unfold.
It's going to be a cracker tomorrow. Little to no doubt about that. Lock came ever so close. Let's talk about the game last weekend before we get into the grand final preview. Tumby Bay, after losing by 2 goals to Elliston a fortnight ago, well, this time they won by 2 goals, and Lock were, I assume, heartbroken to go down 51-49 in the prelim.
Oh, absolutely. And, this is one of the best A-grade games I've seen for the entire season. It was really hard fought but clean netball. There were some awesome skills. I think Tumby's goalies really got them over the line. The accuracy, particularly from young Maisie Curtis, who's I'm thinking she's only 16 or 17 years old, and her long bombs were just extraordinary. And it was a nail-biter game. The Tumby girls led at the first quarter by 5. They were still up by 5 at half time, but Lock had sort of got within 2 goals. Then Lock took the lead. Tumby got it back. It was just that sort of a game. And at the end of the day, 51 goals for Tumby Bay, up by 2 over Lock. All of those players should be very proud of the way they played. It was a great game.
Top 2 teams all year in the grand final. And like I said, when they met a fortnight ago, Elliston got the upset win by 2 goals. Might be good for Tumby to have had that loss. They will have had a chance to figure out what they need to do differently. And we've seen that in a couple of our leagues that have concluded already. The team that lost in the first week of finals were able to bounce back and beat the same opposition in the grand final. So how do you see this one shaping out this weekend at Karku?
Well, thankfully, it's going to be a better day than it was yesterday. It was an absolute howling gale all day yesterday. And I think the goalies might be the difference. It'll be really interesting to see how they go. Tumby's goalies made the difference in the last game with their long bombs and their accuracy. Totally different style of game, these 2 teams, when they play. Elliston actually have their 6-foot-tall goalie from Western Eyre named on the score sheet for this coming game. So, that would really make a difference to Elliston's game. And, I can't imagine it would be any different to last weekend. I'm imagining the lead flip-flopping between either team and really just coming down to time at the end, who can keep their nose in front before the final whistle. So, it should be a cracker, and I expect the crowd will really get behind their teams this weekend. Fabulous location up at Karku, and I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah, the crowd will be up and about, and I'm sure Elliston might be ruffling a few feathers there with that recruiting from the Eastern Eyre, but it's within the rules, isn't it?
It's absolutely within the rules, and a smart coach will be able to work out her team in the parameters that she's been given, it'll all be left on the court tomorrow. So it'll be good to see, and some of the other matches that we've got too. We've actually got Tumby Bay in 4 games out of our 6. Elliston are in 3, so there'll be a lot of supporters on the ground, and obviously they can really lift their team on the day. So really looking forward to some spectacular netball from our juniors up. Should be a great day.
So definitely a couple of powerhouses of the competition, not just in the A grade, but all the way through are Elliston and Tumby Bay. Going to be an absolute cracker. We're going to have to leave things there, Elizabeth, as we get to the Eastern Eyre wrap-up, because they've had a big slate of grand finals to wrap up. But next week, we're going to do a massive wrap of all the grades and all the grand final winners in Great Flinders. Elizabeth, thank you very much for joining me, and I'm looking forward to a big wrap-up next week.
My pleasure, and I'm looking forward to finding out some of these scores. They've got me on the edge of my seat, so it should be a great weekend.
And we're moving straight over to the Eastern Eyre Netball Association now, and Kristy Turnbull is with me to review a massive, massive result from the grand final in the weekend. Kristy, how are you?
I'm very well this morning, thank you, Dan.
Let's get straight into this. Central Eyre United over Kimba, 48-30. Did you see this result coming? Maybe the result, but I'd have to assume you didn't see the 18-goal margin coming.
No, I think this is a shock to me and probably a lot of spectators there that this game blew out the way it did in the end. started off really close, and we knew that these two teams have had some really tight tussles all year, with the second semi coming down to a 2-goal win to Kimba's way. So could have gone, I said last week, it could have gone absolutely any way, and I really did expect it to sort of be a 2 to 5 goal margin this game. But yeah, Storm, probably about after half time, come out. They really stamped their authority on the game. They weren't happy with walking away bridesmaids again this year, and they just got some really good flow on play, blocked Kimba at every chance that they got, and ran away with that win. The Storm spectators on the side of the court were so noisy and so unreal, and they really got behind these girls, and I think that probably ultimately helped them over the line in the end. But yeah, great game to watch. Pinnacle of our competition there. And congratulations to Regan O'Brien, young Storm player, beautiful player to watch, and she got our best on court for that game.
Congratulations to Regan, and congratulations to the Storm. And like you said, just a massive turnaround from 2 weeks ago when they lost the first final, the qualifying final, by 2 goals. And maybe it was the loss they needed to have to give themselves a chance to, get a good look at Kimba and figure out what they needed to do differently to spin the result around.
Yeah, definitely. And they certainly did that, and they did it very well.
That they did. So congratulations to the Storm, premiers in the Eastern Eyre Netball Association A grade. And they were not the only grand final going on at Arno Bay, so we'll run through some of the other results from last weekend. But the Storm was certainly well represented, and it was the same matchup in the B grade, but Kimba got on top of the Storm in the B grade, 55-36.
Yeah, this probably wasn't an unexpected result. Kimba B grade have been very strong all year. We know that they play great netball, and that was actually their 7th premiership win in a row for the Kimba B grade girls. So huge congratulations to them, and congratulations to Kim Redden from Kimba, who was best on court for that game.
All right, so good for Kimba to get that one if they weren't able to get the A grade, and certainly a powerhouse club to win that many in a row in the B grade when, normally your B grade eventually takes a hit because you're feeding all your best players into the A grade, but obviously they've managed to stay strong through both of the top grades.
Yeah, they really have, and even losing a couple of A graders throughout the year, Kimba pulling from their B grade, it hasn't really weakened that B grade team too much. They've got a lot of depth there in Kimba across their senior netball, and that just goes to show with their representation on the weekend. They had 6 out of 7 teams in, so huge representation and a lot of strength in those Kimba teams.
And it was the Eastern Rangers in the C grade getting the win over Central Eyre United, 48-37.
Another good game. Most of our games, I won't sound like a broken record, but most of our games all started off fairly even, and we thought that we were looking at some draws along the way. But congratulations to Eastern Rangers and to Zoe Traeger from Eastern Rangers, who took home the best on court in that game. In the
C2s, you're not going to believe it, Central Eyre United versus Kimba, both teams in action again, and it was the Storm winning this one 33-15.
Yeah, back-to-back for the Storm girls there in the C2. Good effort to them. Off the top of my head, I actually think they came into that game undefeated. So again, probably not an unlikely result. And Carmen Petty from Storm got our best on court for that one.
You're right, they were undefeated in that one, and we had another undefeated team in action in the D grade. That was the Eastern Rangers. Hadn't lost a game all year, but they fell at the final hurdle. Kimba Districts winning that one 56-45 after just 4 wins for the season and finishing 4th. So what a performance by Kimba.
Huge performance by Kimba. Like I said, Rangers come in undefeated. Kimba came from 4th position, had 2 spectacular appearances in the semi and in the prelim, and probably you would call both of those games upsets leading into the grand final. It put them in a really good position to play that grand final against that Rangers team. Kimba, they played a beautiful game. This game was really tight, probably right up until the last quarter, and Kimba just put their foot on the pedal a little bit more in the last quarter to get that nice lead and take home the win. And Isabel Redden from Kimba was our best on court for that game. And yeah, huge congratulations to those girls from 4th to top.
All right, and in the E grade, it was once again Kimba and Central Eyre, and Kimba winning this one 46-34.
Yeah, this could have gone either way. Our E-grade competition has been pretty tight all year, but Kimba have been probably just held that top spot for most of the year, and they proved that they were worthy recipients of this game. For a young team, they played really, really well, and Mercedes Larwood from Kimba took home the best on court for that game.
No prizes for guessing who played in the E2 Grand Final. It was Kimba and Central Eyre United. Once again, Kimba prevailing in that one 32-12.
Yeah, definitely no surprises here, Dan. That Kimba E2 team came in undefeated again, and I know we can see upsets, but they have been pretty much untouchable all year. They're a great group of girls. Kimba have got a big pool of that age group to pull from. They play so well together. They're going to be superstars in the future. So, yeah, congratulations to them, and congratulations to Harlow Seal from Kimba for taking home the best on court in that game.
So 14 teams in action on the day, and Kimba and Central Eyre responsible for 12 of those appearances. Eastern Rangers did well to get a couple in there, but clearly two powerhouses of the comp and dominated grand final day. So congratulations to all those winners. And Kristy, you must be relieved that it is now the off-season.
Yes, look, I think it's always nice to get through the final series. They all ran very smoothly from my perspective. Heaps of help, heaps of behind the scenes. Thanks to everyone, players, supporters, coaches, spectators that come along and make the year run as smoothly as it does. Certainly breathing a sigh of relief. I'll still have a fair bit to do behind the scenes, but as for the hands-on stuff, that goes quiet for the next few months. So I hope everyone enjoys their off-season and look forward to 2024.
Absolutely. Well, you enjoy doing your behind-the-scenes stuff. I know for you the season never really ends, but nevertheless, enjoy the weekends sort of freeing up a little bit. And a big thank you to you, Kristy, for being our correspondent this year on the Friday Night Sports Show covering the Eastern Eyre Netball Association.
No, it's been a pleasure, Dan. I've really enjoyed chatting to you every week. Thanks for having me.